I promised you a YA reading vlog. There were a couple of you who were quite excited that I was going to do this because I had an Unhaul video, try a chapter, Unhaul, I'll link it down below. And some of the books I kept had some people pretty excited. And I did have some books that I really needed to squeeze in before I did the vlog. One of them being The Blinded Stars. And oh my gosh, guys, if you have not yet read Megan E. O'Keefe, you should do so. The Blinded Stars, The Protectorate, either one. I have Steal the Sky. It's kind of calling me. And I want to point out something to you. This is how much I'm trying to give you guys what you asked for, what you wanted. You see that book back there? Right there? Yeah, it's here. It's here. And I'm going to do this reading vlog for you guys. So I hope you enjoy it. But I am going to start with Furyborn by Claire Legrand. In this video, I am not going to pick all of the books ahead of time because I have been very much in a mood reading mode since vacation, or, since before then. But I am going to stick to the books that were in the original video. There are some young adult series that I need to finish that we'll get to later, but I'm going to pick the books that, like I said, they were all from that video. Going to start with Furyborn. I did read The Merciless Crow in between all of this, and I did love it. I do not understand where the criticisms for that book come from because I loved everything about it. And I might have even given it 5 stars. I don't know. I thought it was really great. Now, like I said, I don't know what I'm going to pick up next. Might be Six Crimson Cranes. Who knows? Who knows? But this was one of the ones that really captured my attention. I have the entire series, so I do want to make sure that I do get a jump on this one because having the whole series, I'm like, come on, Trinity, what are you doing? And we'll get to that later too because we're going to address that issue in a vlog later on. But I will check in with you guys whenever I get about 100 pages into this. It is Sunday night and my weekends are spent with my family or gaming. I haven't decided what game I want to play. I'm to the point I have finished the game that I recently purchased, which almost always means I go back to Dragon Age or Mass Effect, but I haven't decided if that's what I'm going to do or if I'm going to try and play something different. I do have Stray. I have been wanting to play that, so we'll see. We'll see. So I might not get very far into this tonight, but I will definitely read it tomorrow. Whew, look at that hair. That hair is a mess. I took a shower and let my hair dry naturally, and this is what you get. Okay, I am popping in to let you guys know that I have DNF'd Furyborn. Unfortunately, as intriguing as that opening chapter was, I could not keep the 2 separate storylines straight. I kept forgetting who was who, what timeline we were in, all of that stuff. And so I ended up DNFing that, which does eliminate 3 books from my shelves because I owned the entire series. And I might follow up with more series than I intended to because I'm noticing I do have quite a few young adult fantasy series on my shelves in which I own the entire thing. But I did start the project by Courtney Summers, and I have mentioned before that I have read Sadie. And Courtney Summers always uses very interesting ways to deliver a story. This one, it is also multiple timeline, but we're going from the past to the present to kind of try and figure out what's going on. And from what I have figured out so far, we have 2 sisters who their parents were killed in a car accident. When one of them is hospitalized in this car accident as well, the other one goes to pray, and in doing so, thinks that she has asked for a miracle, and a miracle has occurred in her sister surviving. And the project is about a cult. So if you guys were not prepared for cult activity, then this might not be the book for you. It centers around this guy who says his project, the project, Unity Project, can save souls, and their good works can save the souls of the people who participate and all of that good stuff. And so the sister gets sucked up into this. Currently, where I am, the sister that was in the car accident has become a journalist. She's only 19, but she works for the paper and wants to write, but they won't let her write. But now someone has died from the Unity Project and has called her name before committing suicide. So, trigger warnings. And so she's figured out that that person could only know her name if they knew her sister. And she has not been able to contact her sister, so she goes hunting for her sister. And she is being left out of the project. She's not being allowed in. She does go to one of the sermons. They figure out who she is and they kick her out. So far, pretty intriguing. Not the greatest to my taste story so far, but I am enjoying it. So I do kind of feel like this is probably going to land where Sadie landed, which was a 4-star read for me. And it's one of those things where I don't really click with the writing style, but I like the story. So yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. That's all I can say. And unfortunately, DNF'd Furyborn moved on to the project, but I will update you guys when I finish this. Hopefully it won't be a DNF, but you never know with me, right? You never know. Alrighty, guys. I blew through the project this morning. Absolutely blew through it. It is a very quick, very disturbing, very dark read about cults, as I was talking about before. And one thing I appreciate about reading this now is I think I figured out that I don't like Courtney Summers' writing. So while I like her stories and everything like that, I don't really like her writing. Her execution is great. The way she delivers stories is always quite original. But this had a few things about it that I don't enjoy. One of those being split timelines. We just talked about this with Furyborn. Didn't like it in that. But the way she delivered it in this, I think, added to my enjoyment of the book because it was reflecting on the past. And so we were catching up to what we knew about the past while we were having events occur in the present. And so I thought this was really cool. I love this cover even more now, knowing what the story actually is and why the cabin is relevant. But I am going to list this on my Pango. Now, you guys can see down here, there is some sticker stuff I wasn't able to get off, so I'll discount it a little bit. Anyway, I like that I read this for the fact that I now know Courtney Summers should not be on my radar. Simply because I don't like her writing style. So my enjoyment of her books is less than I would like it to be. I did like this book though, and I do think that if you are interested in what it's saying and its view on the cult and how people get sucked into cults and where things can go whenever you actually get sucked into a cultist lifestyle, how you get sucked into a cultist lifestyle, all that stuff. If any of that appeals to you, I definitely recommend picking up the project. And like I said, it's a quick read. I read it in less than a day. So like just a few hours. I started it last night and got about 85 pages in before I wanted to go to bed. But yeah, other than that, like I don't really have much to say about it. I've heard someone recently say they'd rather DNF 3 stars than, push through them because 3 stars are the hardest to talk about because there's nothing you really hated. There's nothing you really loved. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm landing with this. That does lead us into the next book I will be picking up for this vlog, and that would be This Woven Kingdom. Now, it was going to be 6 Crimson Cranes, and then I was talking to a friend of mine on Discord, and she actually thought it was quite disappointing. So I'm holding off on that until, my brain is no longer registering that it's disappointing. But this is one of the other ones that really, really intrigued me whenever I decided to do the Unhaul video. So I am going to get on this. The trader is still unread behind me back there, and I'm itching for it a little bit, but we're going to keep pushing through on this vlog and see if I can get rid of some. I've actually stumbled across the second book to this duology multiple times, and I've held off on buying it since I haven't read this one yet. So this is either going to eliminate one book from my TBR, or add a book to my TBR. Will come out even though, right? Because this one will have been read by then. But I will check in with you guys whenever I get, I don't know, about halfway through this, unless it reads like the project, but I don't imagine it will because it's twice the size. So I will see you guys later. All right, guys, here we are letting you know my thoughts on this Woven Kingdom. So I have been meaning to check in with you guys when I get about halfway through the book, but these are all YA, so I'm kind of blowing through them. By the time I think to check in with you guys, I'm almost finished with the book. So I just want to say this one I did actually enjoy. And I am going to go ahead and let go of it though, because while this is a Cinderella retelling, don't let anybody tell you otherwise, because this hits the same plot beats as Cinderella with very similar characters as well. I don't know that I want to keep it because this is not my favorite Cinderella retelling. And I've already gotten rid of my other favorite Cinderella retelling just because I don't feel like it's a story I'm going to go back to. And if you guys want to know what my favorite Cinderella retelling, it is Cinder by Marissa Meyer. Yes. But this one actually turned out to be really good. I am going to continue with the series. I'll probably just do it via audio. And like I said, it's a Cinderella retelling. If you know the story of Cinderella, you know what's going on. But we have a girl who is a servant at the beginning of this, and you know she's on the run from something. It's not really clear who she is, and it's not really clear that she knows who she is or where she came from. What is clear is that she was once a noble. She's established herself in this world as pretty much a slave, or a servant, because they do get paid and stuff like that. But she also can mend clothes and actually is a great seamstress. So she does that work on the side. And she also has like a frost heart, I guess is what you call it. And we find out that she is an ice djinn, which is not something that is common. And she ends up in a capital city of another country and has a few run-ins with the prince. Now, when I say this is a Cinderella story, if you've ever watched Ever After, which happens to be one of my favorite movies, this follows those plot beats. And I do believe that is the grim version of Cinderella. But yes, very much a Cinderella story. And that's all I can really say about this. But I am going to go ahead and end this vlog here because these have been not the greatest books. And I don't feel like I can push myself to read one more in hopes that I find a winner. I want to read The Traitor, guys. I have it. I'm going to get to that very soon. I want to read Empire of Exiles. Libby has popped up and told me I'm reading another book though. So I'm going to go ahead and read the one that Libby just sent to me. But this has been a very successful unhaul vlog and a very successful unhaul experiment with my YA books, because I got rid of 6 in the first video and I have gotten rid of 3 for this video. So I am making quite a bit of shelf space. I do think my YA shelf is about to be converted to a special edition shelf, since I do, or at least the bottom part of it, since I do have quite a bit more like Fairy Loot versions than I do YA now. And that's just how it's going to be. That's how it's going to be. All right. Thank you guys for watching this video. Like, subscribe, and I hope you have a great day. If you want to connect with me on any other platforms, I have a Linktree link down below with all of the links to all of my stuff. Bye.